those that don't know Belinda Woolford, she is the CEO of Ronald McDonald House, Greater Western Sydney. She's been there for a number of years, and as a ambassador of the past, and in my past playing days, it was such an honour to get to know her more and more and see the incredible work she's doing over there and some of the amazing projects she's taken over and helped build. So I'm really excited to have her on board. Belinda, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tim. It's great to be here.
Talk to me. How are you going? Are you in lockdown at the moment?
Definitely, like everybody, working from home at the moment, but still Ronald McDonald House is still going strong every day. We've still got many families that are staying with us, but unfortunately we can only have key essential in-house operation staff on site. So all other staff are all working from home. We've got no volunteers at the moment. So, they're the heart of the house that keep that real community and that homely feel as well. So our families are getting by like everybody else, but with the ongoing struggles that they have with a sick child on top of COVID is obviously really difficult. We've had to stop our programs like Meals from the Heart and which is, the support from the Leagues Club is fantastic at the moment, but cancelling all our fundraising events, our race day, our golf day, all of those initiatives that we have that connect our community and we heavily rely on fundraising support hasn't been able to happen over the last 18 months now. So but we still have phenomenal support from individuals, community partners, corporate partners that are still giving their generous donations to us, and whether it be in kind or financial support, because we need to stay open and our families need their support.
And how do you find it? Like, I know a lot of businesses are doing it tough as well, but there's also a lot of businesses doing really well. How can people that want to help out get involved in terms of donating money?
Yeah, definitely. So they can connect with us either directly through the house or through our social media channels on Facebook or Instagram. It's a great way, or through our website. It's a great way to connect and sign up to our newsletter, because you can see directly the ways that you can support and campaigns that we've put online. We've got an appeal coming up in November, which is Give a Night, which is a 24-hour way for where people can dollar match and donate. And of course, leading up into Christmas, we always have a strong appeal that people can get behind and support.
Yeah, awesome. You talked a bit before about Parramatta Leagues Club and the history there. That's something I always found pretty fascinating, is how long and how far back we go, both as a Leagues Club and at Parramatta Eels. Can you give us a bit of background in the history of that relationship and what it's been like since your time there as well?
Oh, definitely. And, as you said, it started a long way before my time being at the charity as well. But the support from the Parramatta Eels Sports Club as well as the Leagues Club is one of the ones that I think is in sporting history of the legacy and how long it's been going. Going back to Alan Overton and the support that he had with the Leagues Club and his role with the, with the Eels, but with the Leagues Club and connecting that support. So back in, around 1985, when we moved from Camperdown to Westmead, and he became heavily involved in building our purpose-built house at Westmead, so the 18-room original house at Westmead, and getting community and corporate partners behind it. I hear stories of how players even would come in and help with bricklaying and help, hands-on support, and that came through from everybody's commitment to the support of the charity. But it was so authentic back then, and it's so fantastic that even to this day it's so authentic to both organisations, through everybody as well.
Yeah, it's such, you talk about laying bricks and the building of their house, which obviously Ovo and a lot of those guys had a big part to do with, but you also had a really big part to do with the building of the new house. Can you give us a bit of an idea of, I know you did a lot of lobbying, a lot of fundraising, and to get that project to where it is now, it's an incredible achievement. Can you give us a bit of a background of what that was like in that whole experience?
Oh, definitely. It was a phenomenal experience, and definitely a highlight in my own personal career, I suppose. But yeah, to be able to come in and start with the charity and know that the need, unfortunately, the need of, having an 18-room facility wasn't enough to support the families that needed our help. So we started the looking around at what we needed, investigating and doing some research and working with the hospital about, well, what was the size of the facility that we need. And, it started off and based on the needs of what the hospital predicted that they thought we'd need, they wanted 120 rooms for us to build a new facility. And for, of course, being a charity, we couldn't jump from 18 to 120. So we decided to start with 60 rooms and started a capital campaign. We launched on Valentine's Day, and it was phenomenal to get state funding support behind that, but a capital campaign that went on to raise $45 million to build the facility, $5 million of in-kind donations to sort of, fit out the house. But we wanted to ensure that going to such a big facility, it still remained a home. Like this becomes a home for our families from all over the country. It needs that community support. And that was something that was really critical for us to ensure that we did, and making sure that the community were also involved along the way as well. So we had so many supporters, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, you talk about the jump in rooms, and if I remember correctly, I think it was like you can do 75% more. Is that right? How many extra rooms were there?
Yeah, so it was going 3 times the size. So
Yeah.
we went from 18 to 60.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does it feel like as a CEO of the place, knowing that there's an extra, 3 times the amount of families you can help and support during their tough times?
Oh, it's an absolute privilege to do the role that I do, and I know that everybody that works with me feels that every day, that to be able to know that the work that we do makes a direct impact to families who really need it most. So they come from regional New South Wales, from interstate, and for us to be able to provide that community support for these families while they're with us really is priceless. Families don't stay to pay with us, so that's why we heavily rely on funding to do what we do. But yeah, personally, it's such a reward just to sort of see that direct impact.
Awesome. And talk to me about your new ambassadors, new Parramatta Eels ambassadors, Dylan Brown and Regan Kimball-Gillard. How have they been, and what's their experience with the house been like?
Oh, it's been great. So Dylan and Reg have been amazing. They've been ambassadors now for a couple of years. It's been hard to, obviously they haven't had as many experiences in the house like you would have, obviously over the years, but the times that we have been able to have them come in, it's been great. They're both fantastic with the kids. The kids obviously love having the Eels come in and spend time with them, but they have also been connecting, through messages and through digital support, which is phenomenal. You might have seen that Dylan was a part of our Earn Your Stripes campaign last month, and he raised an amazing effort of over $15,000. And his challenge was, the higher he raised, he'd dye his hair, and he obviously bleached it blonde, which was, obviously he can pull off the look, but it was, I think he was so surprised as well to see, that he could, fundraise and support us as well. And he knows directly, personally, from seeing it firsthand, the impact that money has and how it supports our families.
Yeah, it's awesome. It says a lot about his profile, but also says a lot about the people supporting and loving what you guys are doing. I know a lot of times I've been there, I've quite with people from out of town. They talk about how they ducked off to Parramatta Leagues Club for dinner and lunch. Does that happen often? Do you hear many families that duck out to PLC?
Oh, definitely. Obviously pre-COVID times, but definitely, for our families to be able to give them opportunities to step out and spend some time as a family and do something that they might do back home. So, going down to the Leagues Club and grabbing a bite to eat is something that is really priceless and critical for them to do it. And especially when, they can tap it into going to the stadium and obviously watching the boys play. It's, it's a good night out for them. And a lot of our families don't even get that experience to go and see a footy team play live and go to such a big stadium from their hometown. So it's a great experience, and they definitely love going to the Leagues Club.
Yeah. And talk to me about the next, what's the future look like? So what's the next project for you, or what's the next couple of years look like? Or is it just about getting through this period? What's on the horizon?
Oh, I think for everybody, it's about getting through the current situation and continuing to support our families. But we're always looking at ways that we can expand on our programs, looking at ways that we can support more families, whether it be more families from regional areas with accommodation, or how we can support local families in need. So we're definitely always looking at that long-term plan of what we need, and continuing to do that, but as well as doing the day-to-day support of our families in and out that are going through such difficult times.
Yeah, it's incredible. And just to reiterate before we finish, if people want to support you, what's the best way to do that again? Just remind everyone.
Yeah, definitely through our website, social media pages. They can call the house directly. But any way that they can support, whether it be by in-kind donations or financial support, we'd be truly grateful.
Awesome. So as soon as this video finishes, find a way to get involved, guys. It's such a good cause. Belinda, thank you so much for your time. And I think, and I'm not just saying this because you're on the video with me, but the Ronald McDonald House is such a great cause, but they're also very fortunate to have you. I genuinely believe that, if you were in the heavy corporate world, you'd be running a really big institution. You've got so much experience and you're very good at what you do. So to be having your skill set in the Ronald McDonald House is a great asset for them. And I think they're fortunate to have you. And I think the families are very lucky that there's someone like you running the show.
Oh, thanks, Tim. No, it's great. And as I said, it's a privilege to do what I do every day.
Cheers. Thanks, Belle.
Great. Thanks, Timmy.